And good evening, I'm Terzi.
And I'm Denise. The UConn women came home with a national championship title, and Connecticut tonight is celebrating. In our Channel 3 mobile newsrooms tonight, Dennis House and Joe Tessitore near the podium at the state capitol. Kim Fettig and Eric Clemons with the crowds on the lawn of the Capitol, and Len Bestoff on the UConn campus and stores. Let's begin now with Dennis and Joe.
Denise and Al, good evening. It's a great night out here. A lot of people showing up for this big event. In fact, the team is here for the first time since I don't know how long, Joe, and you're back in Hartford for the first time since you've been traveling with the team for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, been on the road for the past couple of weeks. Dennis, you know, we sat here last year and did this very rally when they celebrated that 39-0 season. I remember one of the things we talked about was, boy, we probably won't be here next year because the team was losing those 4 great players. Well, here we are again, and you know another great point, momentum is kept. We talked about in previous parades and previous rallies, they would be a week or 2 weeks after winning the national title. This feels right. This feels like the right way to do it. They win the title, you come back, you celebrate at the airport, you celebrate at Campbell, you get out here, and you celebrate the state title.
Absolutely. You have to capitalize on the moment. This is an experiment because it's the first time a rally has been held midweek on a work week. That's why the crowd is still pouring in because people are getting out of school and getting out of work. Now, talking to some of the fans tonight is Channel 3's Eric Clemons alongside Channel 3's Kim Fettig. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, guys. Good time out here.
Good time out here. You know, we saw Kim earlier in Eyewitness News at 5:30, and the crowd had not quite spilled out to this far, but if you look out in front of us here, they are spilling all the way back here, pan around, and they are everywhere. Yeah, they have come from the offices. They're bringing the children. It is going to be a good time out here. You guys talked about the timing of this rally being so close to the national championship game on Tuesday night. I think that's a good thing. They are really excited.
They're so pumped up.
They are pumped up.
And you see a lot of young women out here really pumped up.
A lot of young women and a great team to look up to, a great young team to look up to. No seniors on that team this year, so they'll be expected to really win the national championship again next year.
And I think this crowd's ready for a second year of partying.
Absolutely. But, you know, we want to talk about next year. Let's enjoy this tonight.
Exactly.
And then let next year happen when it happens.
Well, certainly there's a lot of fans here, but I'm assuming that there's a lot of fans on the UConn campus tonight, and that's where Len Bestoff is, and I'm certainly, it's probably gearing up out there like it is down here. Len?
Well, the partying began right here at the Campbell Pavilion just a few nights ago, the site of many big UConn wins in the past. Admittedly, the campus here at Stores is in a little bit of a lull right now, but you can bet it's going to crank up right as the weekend rolls around. We're live in Stores. Len Bestoff, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, we continue to watch the celebration unfold at the state capitol. The pep band is there. Look at all those fans, Denise.
Yeah, I see them. Now, during this pep rally, this victory celebration, we will hear from Governor Rowland. We're also expected to hear from Coach Gino Auriemma, and there's word that we may even hear from Diana Taurasi as well.
Yeah, what an exciting year it's been. As Joe mentioned earlier, nobody really expected with the loss of those talented seniors that they would come this far. But look at this, a back-to-back championship led by Diana Taurasi and the outstanding play of those freshmen, and who knows what the future will bring.
Now, we should point out there's a long list of state lawmakers who are scheduled to speak at this rally. Then we're going to take you back to the rally throughout the next hour and bring you the introduction to the team and their speeches. But right now, we're going to turn to other news while we watch what's happening at the Capitol. Now, mobile newsroom at the state capitol right now, where a rally is being held for the national champion UConn women. Now, UConn's winning season has led one state lawmaker to draft a bill that would make UConn MVP Diana Taurasi the state's co-heroine. The official Connecticut heroine, of course, is Prudence Crandall, who stood up against racial prejudice back in the 1800s by opening the first academy for black women in New England. Crandall was named heroine by the state legislature back in 1995. Before her, the hero honors went to Nathan Hale.
And how about those Huskies this year? Isn't that something? 70 wins, setting a record. Connecticut is celebrating their back-to-back championship tonight, and Eyewitness News is there. The victory party for the UConn women underway right now at the state capitol, and there's some familiar faces in our live Channel 3 mobile newsroom. Eyewitness News team being led tonight by Dennis House and Joe Tessitore. Hi, guys.
Hey, Al. Al, good evening to you. The crowd is thrilled because they just got their first look at the team.
Well, there was a boo before, and that was because big Lou Perkins came out, the athletic director. We heard a Lou. Then it was followed up by some thunderous cheers as the national champions have arrived here at the state capitol.
Lou, by the way, isn't as big as he used to be. He's lost a lot of weight. Looks fantastic, Joe.
Not as good as those national championship women do up there, though, because they have those back-to-back shirts on. and they are already being honored as the festivities are underway here at the state capitol.
We have a crowd of, what would you say, Joe? How many people?
Well, it's amazing because in the past 10 minutes, it seemed to have doubled. For a long time, there were just about 500-600 people here, but now clearly into the thousands here at the state capitol.
Many of them carrying signs. I even saw one man who had a sign, "Marry me, Ann."
Ann Struther's been very, very popular. The freshman from Colorado. She had a sensational game in the national title game. She has a dynamic smile and characteristic to her, and she is definitely one of the bright spots of the future with this program.
These UConn fans are truly passionate about their team. Channel 3's Eric Clemons and Kim Fettig have been out there talking to some of the fans. Folks, what are you hearing?
Hey, I tell you what, we are here with a bunch of young fans right now. Now you can cheer. This is the time to cheer. All right. We are here with a bunch of young fans. I tell you, the power of television. They have totally ignored that the team is up on the stage because they wanted to be on TV and cheer for their national champion UConn women. One more time. Give it to us. All right.
It's clear that there's going to be a real big future for UConn teams here, because these are the future fans.
Players and fans and everything. They are here. They are excited, and they're about to turn their attention to the stage as well.
Right. Well, let's certainly let these guys get up there and see the team and see how things are going out in stores, because that's where I'm certain that there are fans standing by waiting for those girls to come home.
Right. Len Bestoff is out in stores, and he has more. Hey, Len.
Example was the other night. Still, people here on the UConn campus are anything but subdued about the women's big win.
Uplifting. Like, we had that scare about the SARS thing that, like, kind of scared people, but, the women's team got the job done.
I think everyone's really excited, and I don't know, maybe it's brought more attention to the girls versus what they had before, so it's a good thing.
Now, one student said to me, if only the men's team here at UConn can do the same thing next year. We're live on the UConn campus. Len Bestoff, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
And, of course, we're keeping an eye on the events at the state capitol. Right now, you see Lieutenant Governor Jody Rell offering some congratulatory remarks to the champion Huskies. And, of course, there you have a look at the team. And as the team is introduced, of course, we'll get right back to the live coverage here on Eyewitness News.
Dependable, now eyewitness weather with your live Doppler 3000 Futurecast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Bruce DePrest.
Well, I'm glad our weather got nice for the UConn celebration. Today, easily the best day of the month with sunshine and temperatures getting into the 50s, and that's nice after, well, 9 consecutive colder than normal days, which included rain, sleet, snow, and even some freezing rain. None of that going on now, but it looks like tomorrow we're going to have a pretty good soaking rain developing during the afternoon. All right, let's go outside and check out the nice weather conditions we have at the moment in downtown Hartford. Currently, we are looking at partly cloudy skies, some high clouds up there as we look over toward Adrian Landing, and we're going to see more clouds move in as the evening goes on. Our current Hartford temperature is 55, got up to 57 today for a high. Torrington is 52, Putnam cooler at 49, and checking out some other temperatures for you. Norwich is 51. Right along the water, it is cold. 43 in New London and 43 degrees in New Haven. That's because of a southeasterly breeze off the water. And tomorrow we're going to have a northeasterly breeze. Highs only in the 40s statewide. Rain developing probably 9 to noon. 9 a.m. in Fairfield County, noon in the northeastern part of the state. Pretty good rain for tomorrow night. And rainfall totals 1 to 2 inches possible by the time it ends Saturday morning. Some high clouds moving up from the south right now. This is all out ahead of a big upper level low spinning around in the southeastern states, and that moisture is going to be heading in our direction. At the leading edge of that rain getting into Connecticut tomorrow morning with a cool northeasterly wind out there. So Futurecast has the clouds moving up from the south tonight, rain developing again tomorrow morning, continuing in the afternoon. Some lingering rain for Saturday morning, some lingering clouds too, but then we'll probably start to see the clouds break up a little bit for Saturday afternoon. Overnight lows in the 30s, staying above freezing in most locations, and highs tomorrow with the rain just in the 40s. So tomorrow shaping up to be kind of a raw, wet day. Our weather slowly improves Saturday in the 50s. Sunday looks much better, and then much warmer early next week. 60s on Monday, and shooting for 77 degrees on Tuesday.
Now we continue to follow developments at the state capitol right now.
A long list of state lawmakers are expected to speak to the crowd and to the team today. Right there we see Senate President Pro Tem Kevin Sullivan concluding his remarks, congratulating the UConn Women Huskies for their back-to-back championship win. Now, what Coach Gino Auriemma will say to the crowd tonight, that's just a half.
New Charlie's Angels, American Idol, and the new Matrix next PT.
Welcome back to the state capitol. We are celebrating the UConn women's 4th national title, back-to-back NCAA champs. The politicians continue to attach themselves to the national champs. Once this roll call is done, then we will hear from Coach Gino Auriemma and the team. Other big sports news today, it concerns the Masters, and it has nothing to do with protests. Instead, it has plenty to do with rain. The course is absolutely unplayable. Today was supposed to be the highly anticipated first round as Tiger Woods goes after his chance for history, trying to win his 3rd straight Masters. Instead, it was called off. They hope to get 36 holes in tomorrow, although more rain is expected. The course didn't open for practice on Monday. That was a big enough story. Now no first round. Nearly 4 inches of rain has fallen since the start of the week. And think about the people with those most valued tickets. It's so hard to get into the Masters. Here's what the players had to say.
The fans are the ones that suffer. I'm not, the players can adjust. The fans, guys might be down here just like for Wednesday and Thursday and then have to go back and they don't see Thursday. That's what's sad.
If you got a ticket and you're here today, you better at least walk down there and look around. So, because that's a lot of the experience here. It's just being on the ground.
Now this afternoon at Yankee Stadium, the Yankees, everybody wondering how's David Wells going to do. Hey, complete game, 3-hitter, shuts out the Twins 2-0. Of course, we will have continuing coverage of this rally at the state capitol. Joe Tessitore, Eyewitness News.
Inside American homes with soldiers' families, next Inside Edition.
Celebrating the UConn Women's National Championship on the special 1-hour edition of Eyewitness News at 6.
We are bringing you live coverage of Connecticut celebrating a championship live from the state capitol today. Our Channel 3 mobile newsroom is up at the state capitol right now, where the rally for the UConn women, well underway, began about 5 minutes after 6. That's Joe D'Ambrosio up there at the podium. The next speaker is expected to be Lou Perkins, the UConn Athletics Director. Let's see if he's going to come up. We'll listen.
Programs at the State University.
Lou Perkins? Well, he's not going to speak just yet, apparently, but Joe, who does the games for UConn on the UConn Radio Network, is continuing to announce officials who are there on the dais.
Behind the scenes for the basketball team, they are the managers. Please welcome Caitlin O'Connor. Caitlin, stand up, take a bow.
Introducing the team managers. We're going to switch our coverage now to Channel 3's Dennis
Manager Mike
and
Chang.
Joe Tessitore. Gentlemen?
Well, you know what's comical here, Dennis, is that at every practice for the UConn women, there's 4 people that are sitting around picking up balls, grabbing towels, helping out the team managers.
Yeah.
They're always in the shadows. Right now, they're in front of all of Connecticut being introduced to this crowd and our TV homes here.
Joe, I want to ask you, because you travel with the team quite a bit and have done so for the past couple of years, tell us about the fans who do travel with the team from town to town.
Well, they're very, very loyal, obviously, and they had a great showing once again at Atlanta. Let's listen in to Joe D'Ambrosio at the podium right now.
Please say hi. Nicole? Next, she saved her best for last in the championship game against Tennessee. Number 43 from Colorado, Ann Strother. Part of the California connection, she had a fabulous weekend in Atlanta, Wilnette Crockett. And a member of the Big East All-Freshman team and a member of the All-Regional team in Dayton, the BT Express, Barbara Turner. Next, the sophomore class, part of the Valley Girl connection from Colchester, Vermont, Ashley Valley. Young lady walked into Connecticut from New Mexico and has walked on to 2 national championship teams, Stacy Marin. Member of the all-regional team who was tremendous all season long, should have won the league's most improved player, number 31, Jessica Moore. And the Defensive Player of the Year in the Big East and the Energizer, number 22, Ashley Battle. And next, the junior class, the other part of the Valley Girl Connection who was a valuable starter throughout the season, number 20, Morgan Valley. Morgan, put a jacket on, you're getting us cold. And again, she is from Vermont, so she is used to this. She was an all-state player in high school at Seymour High. She's been terrific all season. Calm, cool, and collected, Maria Conlon. And if I list all of the next players' accomplishments, we'll be into the 11 o'clock news, not just the 6 o'clock news. The Player of the Year, Diana Taurasi. Next, the members of the coaching staff, the Director of Basketball Operations, Jack Eisenman, who I don't believe is here. He's watching tape, right? You've got him scoped out in tape already for next year. She was a tremendous player at UConn, and now she's moved on to be one of the best assistant coaches in the country, Jamel Elliott. Now, you may have forgotten this, but in 1991, she helped prevent UConn from getting to a Final Four. But she's on our side now, Tanya Cardoza. She's been with Gino Auriemma for 18 years. Only Kathy Auriemma can relate to that. The associate head coach, Chris Daly. And the head coach and the National Coach of the Year, Gino Auriemma. And next, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our next speaker. He is the head of our state. He is the #1 fan. He is the #1 fan when they play any team in the Big East. And I mean any team. And he is our governor. Please welcome the Honorable John Rowland.
My job this evening is to introduce the only man of the hour here with us this evening. When Gino got off the plane last night, I looked at him and I waved over to see a crowd of about 500 people standing in the cold and the rain and the sleet. And I said, Gino, what does it feel like to have the most loyal, most enthusiastic supporters and fans across the entire United States of America? And that's what you all are. The most loyal, most enthusiastic fans anyone could have. Now, I would like to leave you with one little secret that Chris Daly and I have figured out about Gino. And I love to tease Gino. You know all the faces that he makes with Pat Summitt and all the gestures and all the nonsense that's been going on for all these years. It's all a front. Gino has a little bit of a soft spot in his heart for Pat Summitt. I think he has a crush on her. Gino, to you and to your wonderful coaching staff and you wonderful athletes, this has been a long, cold winter. And your play and what you've done this year has warmed the hearts and the souls of everyone across this state. God bless you all. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the #1 women's basketball coach in the United States of America, today and forever, our beloved Gino Auriemma. Hey. All right.
All right. Usually when we come out here, it's really cold and bad weather, so I always say stop. But since it's not so nice, keep going. Go ahead. I'm only kidding. Hey, I don't know why everybody is making a big deal about the weather and how bad it was this winter. You know, here's the way I talk about it with recruits. In Connecticut, 8 months of the year, it's absolutely beautiful and spectacular. The other 4 months, it's basketball season. And the guy with the sign back there, listen, I don't want any more calls from the church next door. Put that sign away. And if that wasn't bad enough, I got a lot of bad letters from my mother saying he better put that sign away. All right. I know that there's been a lot of talk about what we did this season and about how we overcame a lot of things, and everybody talked about last year's team being so talented and so unbelievably skilled, and that what we did last year, even though it was a great accomplishment, it wasn't totally unexpected. And I understand that. And then when this year's group came along, and as it played out towards the end of the season and what we've done the last 2 weeks, there's been a lot of talk about the lack of talent compared to last season's team. And I think that's a disservice. I think that's a disservice to these kids. There's been an awful lot said about how talented the other teams were and how inexperienced we were. But you know, it's just like a woman out there to interrupt me while I'm talking. As if I don't get enough of that at practice. So when we think back to this year's team, let's not think in terms of whatever talent we didn't have, whatever inexperience we didn't have, whatever lack of depth or anything you want to talk about that we didn't have. I think as we look back to the season, for all the young people out there and for anybody else who's going through any difficulty in this time, just think back to what you saw this past weekend. It doesn't matter about what you don't have. What's most important is what you do have. And also, I would be remiss if I didn't thank a couple people before I finish up with this team. When we flew in yesterday afternoon, I want to give a big thank you to the state police, the UConn police, and the fire department, and everybody that was out there. The people from the Department of Transportation, I think they all deserve a big, huge hand. These wonderful kids up here that nobody can see. The cheerleaders, stand up for a second. Come on. And you know, all you guys used to make fun of the guys in the band, well, guess what? They had free tickets this weekend and you didn't. And they were unbelievable. And before we go any further, there's no parade this year. And I think that's, no. Don't boo that. Don't boo that. There shouldn't be a parade this year. There should be this, because there's other things going on, and I'm not sure we need to have a parade yet until these people behind me right here, until all their friends come home. when all their colleagues and some of your relatives and friends and neighbors, when they come home, then we'll have a real parade. In the meantime, I don't want... All right. Take a break. Get some decaf in your system. One of the things that I don't want to do is I don't want to stand here and predict that we're going to win it again next year. Because last time I did that, we lost. So it's best that I don't say anything about next season. All I want us to do is understand that all these kids are going to be back next season, but they're all going to be a little bit, they're all going to be a little bit different. They'll all be a little bit older. We'll have some seniors that'll be going off to the rest of their lives. Our freshmen will be sophomores. Our sophomores will be juniors. We'll bring in 3 more freshmen. But the one thing that will be constant is when we start practice next October 12th, we're still going to have the same goals in mind. We want to play hard. We want to play smart. We want to have fun. And we want to put ourselves in position to win a championship. And hopefully, if we stay healthy, we'll take another run at it like we did this year. Thank you all very much for coming out.
Coach, if you can come back up here with the governor and the lieutenant governor, they have a special presentation to make.
Hey, to all the state troopers out there, I promise I won't be in the HOV lane anymore when I don't belong there.
Before we say goodnight, we have one more thing that we have to present to the crowd, and I would like the tournament's most outstanding player. Can you go back there and get something? There's something that we didn't bring out here that we should bring out. The trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, what no one else in the country has, the national championship trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for attending. We thank you for your support all season long. Go out and enjoy the evening in Hartford, and the coach wouldn't make any promises, but if we come back next year in April, nobody will complain. Good night, everyone.
You've been watching live coverage of the victory celebration for the UConn women, the national champions.
There's Diana Taurasi getting the congratulations of Lieutenant Governor Jody Rell and all the rest of the team that did such a fabulous job this year. And we can all celebrate that championship.
Absolutely. And what's amazing, too, is every UConn player is back next season. All of them, Strother, Turner, Crockett, Diana Taurasi, Jessica Moore, the whole bunch, back again next year.
And, of course, Gino was very careful to avoid what he did, I believe, after the 2000 victory, when he predicted a victory the following year, and as we know, that didn't happen. But then 2002 came along, and 2003, and can there be a three-peat, huh?
We can always hope. No matter how many times you hear it or see it, you never get tired of that. The UConn women national champions. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
The aftermath of that tremendous rally on the north side of the state capitol in Hartford.
Channel 3's Dennis House and Joe Tessitore are there live on the scene.
Denise and Al, good evening. A pretty good turnout tonight.
Dennis, you think Gino's pretty popular? Here at the state capitol, you know, he could end up here at the state capitol in about 10, 15 years.
He just might. I saw at least one time that Gino is God.
Right in the palm of his hand. We'll recap a couple of the things that he said. First of all, he said it doesn't matter what you don't have, it's what you do have. Of course, alluding to the fact that all season long we talked about, hey, Sue Bird isn't here, Tamika Williams isn't here, this team is inexperienced, this team just has the one superstar player. It really didn't matter in the end. That was a great point he brought up. And then he talked about the fact that there is not a parade. This is something that you and I spoke to. A couple of weeks ago, I had the chance, Dennis, to sit down with athletic director Lou Perkins, and this was just after the war in Iraq started. And Lou said to me, you know, Joe, it just doesn't feel right. And I agreed with him. This was the right way to do this. And Gino made the point, folks, and the crowd booed at one point. He said, no, don't boo about that. The next parade we have is when our soldiers come home, and that's the right way to do it. This was the right way UConn and the state capitol handled this perfectly this week.
It was certainly a festive ceremony. There was one moment when Governor Rowland was introduced, and there was a handful of boos here and there. In fact, I noticed, Joe, there were some people booing over here, and some people around them who were clapping were very upset about it because, really, this was not the venue for that sort of thing.
No, but it really doesn't matter because once Gino starts speaking, it's all cheers, and he is absolutely a great speaker. He also wanted to emphasize that, hey, this team is talented. Everybody, and he was doing it up until a couple days ago, portraying them as a big underdog. Why should they even be here? He said that one comment, we're going to go down there, Joe, and we're going to see if we can steal a Final Four. Yeah, right, Gino, you're the most talented team in the country. You have the most talented coaching staff in the country. And he didn't want to predict something come 2004. I'll predict something for 2004. It would be shocking if they don't three-peat. They're going to have everybody back and the infusion of young talent with the recruits.
There was someone here who had drawn out the Alamo, which is, of course, next year the women's Final Four is in San Antonio, saying we'll
Actually,
see
the men's is in
men's.
San
Well, there was
Antonio.
someone with the sign. Oh, there it is right there. I don't know if we can show that sign over there. He just folded it up. Anyway.
Kim Fettig and Eric Clemons have been with the crowd all afternoon long, and they join us now. Guys?
Yeah, we're still with the crowd. They're ready to cheer. Go ahead. Oh, yeah.
I don't think the rally's over.
And we've got the most unique mask in the crowd. Check that out. What's your name?
Nicholas.
All right, Nicholas, do you bark in that thing or what? There you go.
From this crowd.
All right, the UConn bark. Hey, listen, let me make my way through here. Let me talk to you. What does seeing the parade, what do you UConn women, the two-time defending national champions, mean to you?
Live
television, the red light's on. Come on, you gotta help me out.
It means a lot. It's the best.